Welcome into Sleepers 5.0, where I'm bringing you 4 more names to put on your watch list or target in deeper leagues. As always, if you like baseball or fantasy baseball content, hit that subscribe button. We're actually starting off with a name that has climbed up ADP in early drafts already and is no longer in this conversation of being a watch list guy. Miguel Vargas of the Dodgers. Currently has first base eligibility, at least in the leagues I play in, set to play second base for the Dodgers, or at least that's what the rumor is, and that means new eligibility early on. This will give him dual positional eligibility, which adds value to him. He brings strong plate discipline and a strong hit tool. He's hit at least 300 in each of the last 3 stops leading into his cup of coffee last year. It appears he has grown into power, but the power isn't a strength. He consistently pulls and elevates the ball very well. That should help the power play up, but again, the power is not a strength necessarily here. The speed is legit here, so stolen bases should continue and should be a thing. Not to mention the new rules benefit him greatly. The only issue is he's likely to hit at the bottom of the lineup for majority of the year, if not all the year. It's going to depend on injuries and all that. But a bottom of the lineup spot on one of the better teams is still not a terrible spot to be in. Now we're moving on to 3 names that are going to be on your watch list most likely, or if you're in deeper leagues, guys you can grab for your bench later on, or reserve round picks depending on how deep of formats you play in. Starting with Bryce Tarang of the Brewers. After finishing 2021 in AAA, he returned there in 2022 and played 131 games. We saw a big jump in production in 2022 after we saw him settle into the AAA level. He always had strong plate discipline, often keeping the strikeout rate 20% or less, and often posting double-digit walk rates. The on-base ability and the speed is very legitimate here. So the steals at the next level should be able to translate. Not to mention that plate discipline should also be able to help him translate smoother to the big leagues. Similar to Vargas, Turang doesn't have a lot of power. It's not his strength, I should say. However, the ballpark that he calls home should be able to help the power play up a little bit. All in all, Turang's a guy I'm really liking this draft season. The third guy on this list is Hayden Wesneski of the Cubs. We saw a strong 33 innings out of him late last year. Very small sample. Can't take too much away from that. And right now, it's tough to see a spot in the rotation opening up. However, he will have a chance to fight for that final spot most likely in spring. But if nothing else, he will be one of the first call-ups if there's an injury. The sub-3 ERA we saw last year was rather lucky. The indicators suggest he's more of a mid-3s ERA type, which is still very solid. Wesneski posted an above-average K- walk rate, which was aided by the fact that he was very good at hitting his spots and controlling and commanding the zone. He attacked the zone while still inducing slightly above-average swinging strike rates and was able to induce chases as well. The velo leaves a little bit to be desired, sitting lower 90s, but he has a 5-pitch mix, and that can help him overcome any velo concerns, especially if he starts throwing some of those secondaries more. At the end of the day, he's not going to be elite, but he could offer some back end of rotation type of production, which can have value in deeper formats. And the last guy is definitely a dart throw, barely being drafted even in some of the deepest leagues, but Blaise Alexander of the D-backs has my attention and should have yours as well. He posted 19 home runs and 10 stolen bases in the upper minors last year. He often puts up double-digit walk rates, so again, the on-base skills there can help those stolen bases translate, because the more you're on base, the more you have a chance to steal. And the K rate was around 23%. That could be a little bit of an issue, but it could sustain right where it's at, more likely to go up. So if it's sitting about 25 to 27%, he can get by on that, but that's less than ideal. He's on the 40-man, which is already a plus for any prospect if you're targeting guys this late in drafts. And he posted a WRC plus of at least 135 in each of the 2 stops last year. We saw strong production, and there's a clear path to playing time because the only players ahead of him are Nick Ahmed, who can't stay healthy of late, and Perdomo, who also hasn't shown to do much at the big league level. Blaise Alexander can easily break camp out of spring, and that shouldn't surprise anyone. That's going to do it for Sleepers 5.0. If you want to check out Sleepers 4.0, it's up here on the screen. Hit that link. If not, check out whatever YouTube thinks you should be watching. But we have Sleepers 1.0 through 4.0 that you can also catch up on the channel, so don't forget to check those out. As always, appreciate it. Subscribe, and we'll talk soon.